So just here with Marty Mattner, senior coach, after the weekend's wins out at Elizabeth with the reserves and the league, both good wins. Marty, you had some really good players in the reserves. I'm sure a lot of those players are knocking on the door to play league footy. What does that present for you in the next few weeks?
Yeah, it's a tough challenge, I guess, for the selection group and the coaches. The reserves guys have been playing some pretty good footy this season, and I guess it's pleasing to see some of the guys who have missed out on league selection this year play some really good games in the first sort of 6 weeks. So players like Liam Puncher, Willa Taylor, Mal Carruthers, Josh Shute, Brad Jeffries, to name a few, but those players that I guess got a little bit of exposure over the last few years or in trial games at the start of the season have all been playing really good footy and either waiting for their opportunity or actually are starting to really push for in selection in terms of putting their name up to get into the league side.
We seem to really like playing those bigger ovals. What's your thoughts on that?
I think in general, I think our game plan is suited to all grounds. But again, I think the exposure of our kick mark game out at Elizabeth really suited it really well on the weekend. We were able to, I guess, move the ball really well. But then at those times, we sort of controlled the tempo of the game, which allowed our forwards. I thought our small, medium forwards on the weekend were really good. They exposed the big ground. And it's probably got to do with their attributes. I mean, G. Committee, Matthews, Conforti, all these guys, really good runners and good ball users. So their ability to find pockets of space on big grounds, was really pleasing on the weekend, and they started to get some reward. Josh Home was really good as well. Didn't quite get the reward in terms of goals, but had 11 score involvements, and it was pleasing to see him have a really good impact as well.
Bit of a curly one, Marty, which I hadn't pre-warned you about. But just coming to mind, the free kick count, there's been a little bit of chatter online about that. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I didn't actually notice it until I think it was like late in the third, early in the last quarter. So I guess at the moment it wasn't really a focus of ours in the coaching box, and we didn't really notice it on the ground. Probably not until afterwards. And after the game, I think it ended up being about 26-9, which is not ideal. But if we're winning games and we see that, I guess there is some interesting ones in the sample with the deliberates out of bounds. So if you have a couple of those, they automatically go to a free kick to the opposition as well. So sometimes it can be skewed, but yeah, it wasn't something that we've noticed in these, I guess, last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks.
And this week we obviously don't have senior men's games. We've got the state game. What's training look like this week?
Yeah, so the players will train as a team Monday and Wednesday, and then we give the players from Thursday to Sunday off. They'll still have a program to complete in that little period they're off. We're also lucky enough to have 4 players in the state squad. We'll see how that goes with selection on who actually plays, and then we've got a few players that'll be available or playing in the under-20s who play state South Australian under-18s on Saturday at Thebarton. So, which we've got 3 players who played in that squad on the weekend. They played a trial game on the weekend. So, for all the Sturt supporters, if you do want to watch some footy, head down to Thebarton and watch some of the younger players play in the under-18s v under-20s in the state stuff. And then we've got our state men's players playing, I believe it's before the game at Optus Stadium on Sunday over in the Western Australia. So yeah, we've got some players playing, but the rest of the players will have a well-earned break of 3 or 4 days off, which is quite nice.
So who are the 4 in the state squad to take on Western Australia?
Yeah, so the 4 in the state squad are Connor McFadgen, Will Snelling and Casey Voss, who played in the first one, and then McFadgen and Will Coombs have been added to the squad as well.
Excellent. Thanks for having a chat with us, Marty, and I hope you have a weekend off.
I'll enjoy the break as well. Thank you.